right. Low Gals.
Welcome to episode 3000 of Low Gals, the number one show, the show that Low Cal Queens was based off of. But we've been here longer, so welcome. Today we are going to be talking about the community fall of Queeman versus Tommy C versus Chud Logic.
Yeah. It's not so also actually it's pretty awesome that Locale Queens is based off of us. Like we're the OGs.
Right? We really are. We really are the OGs. I bet if we hadn't stolen Low Gals, then they would have done it.
Yeah.
It really is just a better name.
It really is. Okay, so let's start from the top. Tommy in general just does not trust Chud based off of 3 arguments, right? Correct?
Yeah, it's like, so his thing with Chud, like, it sounds like, based on his words and everything, it sounds like it really started when he posted a clip of one of his lives, and it was like the commentary community is hell or shit or whatever he said. And it was him bitching about Connor and Augie, and bitching about Nick, and Nick being like siding with H3H3 about it being a Nazi sword, you know?
Yeah.
And so Queeman got onto that and was like shitting on Nick, saying that he's just sucking off Ethan Klein and that it wasn't a Nazi. So to me it feels like that was the first time that like either Chud or Nick or Queeman have ever said anything like that about Nick. And of course Queeman's been going after Tommy for a long time. Oh, it said the state of the commentary community. And it's got so and Tommy was like, well, Chud's a snake, and his reasoning is because I guess Chud will talk shit, and he's waiting for something big to happen to Nick to take him down, and Chud will talk shit behind Nick's back. He knows it. And then the other thing is that Chud basically leaked the fact that Bo Blacks had a picture of himself in a dress. And so he's like, you can't trust Chud with any information because it will leak eventually. And then the fact that he kept on bringing up Queeman. So a lot of this, I think, is because Chud's friends with Queeman, and Queeman's been going ham on Tommy. But I think that's really the big thing. But he says you can't trust Chud because he'll stab you in the back, and he leaks everything.
So Chud and Queeman, like from what I've heard from their side, is that Chud and Queeman, although they have DMs together, it's more essentially of Queeman sending Chud stuff. And it's not necessarily talking behind the scenes. Maybe there is like a dialogue between Chud and Queeman, but it's like a very minimal dialogue.
Well, Chud was no. So I know for a fact it's more than, but Chud was referring to like his last few DMs, not so much like all together. When he said that Queeman just sent me the last few things Queeman did was send me some videos, and here's the videos he. But no, Queeman and Chud are close. They're like friends. They're close. But Chud's thing is, I'm not Queeman. So like the thing that Tommy I think is doing like this guilt by association thing, where because Chud hasn't like totally disavowed Queeman, and he just says, oh well, Queeman, that's just Queeman. That's just how Queeman is. That Chud's kind of like would side with Queeman more than, and like he's basically, Chud and Queeman are close, so Chud's not going to like go super ham on Queeman unless it's something super bad.
So I do think there are times where Chud and Queeman do disagree, and like Chud will say that they disagree there or they're not aligned. And I agree with Chud where it's I don't control Queeman's actions. Queeman is a grown adult. He does his own thing. Whereas on the Tommy C end of things, you kind of see essentially like a group chat that is talked about, or like in the past, we've seen like the group chat talked about and leaked where folks are talking behind the scenes together one on one. And I think Tommy has that perspective that that sort of dialogue is still happening or is happening between Queeman and Chud, where I just don't see that
Well, I mean,
at
I
all.
like, yeah, I mean, of course, I mean, I think that we don't see it because we wouldn't, but I
Yeah.
also don't think Chud really has a lot of group chats that he's in. But he, like, if you, I don't know if you're part of Chud's Discord or Queeman's Discord or even J Stock's quiz, that Discord, but I
Hmm.
mean, they're pretty active in each other's Discords for the most part. I mean, Chud's is dying down, but yeah, Queeman in there and they'll talk shit like during the President Sunday Beckett thing.
Yeah.
Like they were, I don't know whether it was primarily in Chud's Discord or Queeman's Discord or even President Sunday's Discord, but they were in there like talking shit about like Queeman was talking, was it Queeman talking shit or President Sunday? Oh, President Sunday was pissed off at Nick, so they were talking shit about, kind of talking shit about both parties. Like President Sunday was defending himself and talking shit about Nick. But I mean, they're in each other's discourse, but that's all public.
Yeah.
So, and I think Tommy's kind of right that you can't really trust Chud with any kind of information because I swear that Chud did admit that he's the reason why the Destiny slept with Lauren Southern rumor started because I know that Chud had kind of like slipped it and DGG, that's like the main reason why Destiny blackballed Chud was because Destiny blamed Chud for the uh Lauren Southern rumor coming out starting.
'Cause
And
wasn't DK making, like, thumbnails that were implicating Lauren Southern and Destiny sleeping
Mm.
together?
Yeah, I think that was, let me,
I'm not quite sure. So I'm not
yeah.
familiar with the Chud, Lauren
Mm.
Southern Destiny stuff. All I know is that,
Oh yeah, so there was it was 6 months ago. Um oh no, that was after, that's when President Sunday did it.
yeah.
When that was, but
The only
see.
thing I remember
Mhm.
between, like, the Lauren Southern stuff was that Destiny or, like,
Oh,
DDG was, like,
mhm.
really pissed off at what
Yeah.
DK was doing in
Yeah.
thumbnails.
Yeah, because it says, so it was 2 years ago, Destiny Lauren Southern affair exposed. Ex-husband leaks Lauren's secret child with Destiny. And so, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't even know how he got. Oh, I know, yeah. And so the reason why Chud kind of figured it out was because I guess Melina, um, like I think Melina had reached out to Chud after that video
Mhm.
and was messaging, like basically confirming that the issue between her and Destiny and the person that Destiny quote unquote cheated on was Lauren Southern, and I think at at some point, like even Brittany Simon and a bunch of people, like a bunch of orbiters, started talking about it, and I think that's the main reason why Brittany Simon says she started not liking Destiny was because she found out that Destiny was quote unquote cheating on Melina with Lauren Southern. Um,
Mm.
and it all kind of stems from that, so that's why he got. And so I I do think that it makes sense, but the problem with Tommy is he's obviously being like ultra fair to Nick because how much shit has Nick leaked, you know? And it's
Yeah.
not even just for not even just to prove somebody right or prove that someone was lying. Like Nick's accidentally let stuff slip before. Like even in that clip that Tommy shows where Aiden or sorry, when Chud leaked it about Bobax being in a dress.
Yeah.
Even Turkey Tom was like, I like it how you guys, when something's leaked, instead of like going on and saying, yeah, that's not true, you guys go, ooh, and kind of solidify the fact that it's true. And
Yeah.
that's something I've seen a lot between like Augie and Nick and all of them. Even like Boblax, like they've done that. And sometimes it's on purpose. I mean, when it happens so much, it kind of seems like it's on purpose. Like, I want to leak this, but I don't want to leak it. So I'm going to allude to it, or I'm going to kind of hint at it, or somebody else will just straight up say it. But I just don't think, I think Tommy has a point where if you don't want something to come out, don't tell Chud. But then also, if Tommy doesn't want something to come, don't tell Nick, don't tell anybody. Like, that's the internet. So
that was that has been my rule. I learned that lesson a while, where it's like, if you don't want people, say the stuff that you want people to publicly know, whether it's in private or you're saying it publicly. And if you're saying it in private, make sure that you say what you mean, and you're able to publicly, or you want to say it publicly, because people are leaky motherfuckers. Like the mango stuff, that all happened. And I do agree with you. It is the norm where in the commentary community, if something like a bit of information is leaked, the reaction on stream is whoa, 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 or oh my God, don't say that, or like it's an overreaction.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that I can recall was when the stuff with Mango, where she was stuck in Austin, Texas with that dude, Electric Blake, after VidCon happened. Where was it leaked? On Augie's stream.
Yep.
So if and Tommy, like, he did this on the last stream, where it's like, if Tommy wants to go after Chud for being a bad person, for leaking stuff, then you have to go, you're setting a standard to where you have to go after everybody else, because the standard that you're setting is very unreasonable, especially in the commentary community, where a lot of things are leaked.
Yeah.
And the Boblax thing, the main argument is that on Tommy's stream, people were questioning, okay, well, you're mad at Chud for doing this on the New Year's stream, for talking about the dress thing, and then it prompted Aiden to draw Boblax in a dress, and Aiden supposedly told you it was private. Now Aiden has since gone on Chud's stream and said, oh, well, it's it was implied that it was private, but I don't care that you said that, or I don't know what exactly Aiden said, so don't quote me verbatim, but Aiden pretty much said, well, it wasn't necessarily private, and it's okay that you said that, essentially. And Augie was already going around, because somehow Aiden got that picture. So it's like, how did Aiden get that picture of Boblax in a dress? It either came from Augie or Connor, and you're not mad at Augie or Connor. And then Tommy turns and says, oh, well, that happened in private, it's not public. And you're shifting the goalposts by being mad, or you're setting an unreasonable standard by being mad, and pivoting by being mad at Chud only and not Augie. So, and then the Turkey Tom argument is his main argument, where he's like, Chud pressed Tom on the New Year's stream and put Tom in an awkward position, because Tom wasn't ready to distance himself from Destiny, when Tom had live streams after the election stream saying that he was going to distance himself from Destiny and DDG. I can't say it.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to. He didn't want to cater to that specific audience only, or he didn't want to be known as a Destiny streamer only. And then the clip that I posted on my Twitter is Tom saying, well, he's talking about brigading Hassan, and I'm not really with that, essentially. So, Tommy, yeah, what's up?
No, go ahead.
Well, Tommy is getting that factually incorrect. And then I got Tommy to respond today, because I didn't think he would engage with my Twitter post, but he engaged with it. Thought he was busy this weekend, but he's not busy. So he responded and he said, well, that's still a bad look for Chud. Yeah. And it's like, no, this is what factually happened. It's not a bad look for Chud. Why don't you just say why you think it's a bad look for Chud? And then he's like, oh, I'll say it on stream. So it's like, Tommy, you're gonna have another stream explaining yourself again when you already have a poor choice of words already. Like, you already can't phrase things correctly or say things correctly. So
yeah, it says, yeah, you posted he is getting inspection.
And he already
got the date wrong. Yeah, before the New Year's stream, Turkey Tom did two things: talk about the Destiny leaks on stream, from DDG, and
see,
Destiny.
I'm getting you.
I was reading your thing. I was reading yours because you typed in DDG.
Oh my god,
DDG is a actual person, and DGG DG. Anyways,
I'm such a lame ass.
And then you said the New Year's stream had no effect between Chud and you updated the stream occurred between dates, regardless of for the New Year's stream. Tommy still has a factory with the reality of the situation. Yeah. And then he said, I plan to do it on stream, which does not make Chud look as good as you think. In fact, it's much worse if you think about it. So can you tell me again, what did he say he planned to do on a stream?
I apparently clarify this because I'm pointing out something that he made based off of his main argument. I'm pointing out factually that he's getting the timeline factually incorrect. Yeah. And he's saying, well, I plan on covering this clip, what I'm assuming on stream.
And you're saying that Tommy C said the reason why that Chud and Turkey Tom had an issue after the New Year's Eve stream? Or
so Tommy's argument is that Chud pressed Tom on the New Year's Eve stream, and that put Tom in an awkward place because Tom wasn't ready to distance himself from Destiny and that crowd.
No. Okay, I see. See, that's where I got confused. So no. Tommy C was saying that Chud pressed Turkey Tom and Nick on the New Year's Eve stream about the Pixie situation, and Tom wasn't ready. Tom or Nick were not ready to say anything or give any opinions on the Pixie situation because she hadn't come out yet and they didn't want to. So that's what Tommy C was saying, which is clear. Now, I don't know. I think Tommy C thought I don't know. Tommy C is just as bad as understanding tweets and shit. I think Tommy C thought you were talking about what Tommy C is saying here is he planned to talk to Chud on stream, which does, I guess, but that's the thing.
So when you watch the New Year's Eve stream, Nick, Tom, and Chud are all talking about Melina. They're not talking about Pixie.
No, but Chud does mention the leak. He starts alluding to, he's basically saying, you guys know that there's more to it. You guys, and they were talking about the Pixie situation. And so Chud was trying to get them to talk more. So Chud was because I think this was after the turkey, because this was after the initial leaks, and Chud was trying to get them to talk more about what they knew, because he was like, you guys know what I know. So but yeah, it wasn't just about um shoot. It
And
was basically Chud alluding that he knew that he had more information that was available that confirmed other things, because Tom's thing was, oh, you know, or Nick really was the one that was saying, well, maybe he's not talking about the current leaks that are out. Maybe Melina was talking about the leafy stuff. And so Chud was like, no, you guys know more about this. You guys know, you have confirmation that those videos were leaked unconsensually. You guys know about it. And he was talking about the fact that Pixie hadn't confirmed publicly that she was the one in the leaks, but everyone knew privately behind the scenes that it was Pixie, because everyone at least had the DMs between, I believe it was Pixie and Straighterade talking,
so
or Pixie and Erudite. So
everyone knew publicly it was Pixie already at
no, no,
that
no,
point.
no, because Pixie hadn't come out and said it was her.
So
Yeah.
regardless of whether Pixie came out at that point, people were already connecting the dots because people on Kiwi Farms were looking at that picture, the pictures of Pixie, and saying that that's Pixie. And then Turkey Tom, on that stream that I clipped Tom from, he's already going over the leaks because
Yep.
people were giving him shit that in one of the pictures that was posted on Kiwi Farms, that the back of somebody's head or whatever looked like Tom, I believe. Or that one of the pictures looked like Tom.
So Tom wasn't talking about he wasn't saying anything about Pixie on that New Year's Eve stream, but he was getting pissed off because people thought it was him in the getting knobbed from Destiny.
So on
And
the 11:30, this stream either occurred between the dates of 11:30:24 or 12/3/24. So sometime between November 30th, 2024 and December 3rd, 2024, Tom was already going over the leaks, and he went over the specific DMs that Destiny had with the leaker.
no, he did.
He did.
Are you sure? Do you have a clip of that? Because
You can go back on his channel, Tom Dark Live, and watch the entire stream.
Because I don't think Tom ever talked about the DMs between Erudite and Pixie.
He wasn't talking about those DMs. He was talking
That's
about.
what I'm talking about. That's what I'm
okay.
saying.
So,
Is everyone had the DMs between Pixie and Erudite that confirmed that Pixie did not consent for those videos to be out, and also confirmed that Pixie knew, Pixie. Basically, that was the big crux. Is everyone knew that the videos were non-consensual, but during that New Year's Eve stream, Chud was pissed off because Turkey Tom and Nick were trying to downplay it as if, oh, well, maybe Melina's talking about other leaks, and not because the whole thing was, everyone was like, oh, Melina just basically confirmed that those were unconsensual, and they weren't meant to be leaked, that those were leaked and sent to other people without Melina's consent. And Nick had made a statement saying, I think it was on Twitter even, that maybe when Melina said that things were sent without her consent, she was talking about the Leafy situation years ago and not this current situation. And so Chud got pissed off because they were downplaying that. He saw them as downplaying the leaks and trying to shift that the leaks were, that the current Kiwi Farm leaks, that Destiny sent those videos to Rose with consent. of the other people in the video. They were trying to like be like, so we don't know if they were that Destiny didn't have permission to send those to Rose. We don't know because Melina could be talking about the Leafy situation, not this situation. But they all knew that it wasn't with consent because they all had the DMs between Erudite and Pixie stating such, and they had and in those DMs. Now it's not necessarily Destiny himself saying it, because I think all they had at that time was the Erudite and Pixie, where Erudite was talking about money being exchanged and that he, what can we do to fix this? And then later on, when Pixie came out, like when with the President Sunday and Beckett stream, President Sunday and Beckett had more that showed Destiny and Pixie talking, and Destiny being like, I really, you're right, I really messed up. And then everyone came out. But during that New Year's Eve stream, basically Chud was pissed off because he thought that Nick and Turkey Tom were downplaying the fact that, because they knew that it was unconsensual and they shouldn't be even trying to like make their distancing from Destiny anything more than he sent things unconsensually, and they shouldn't be trying to allude that Melina was talking about anything else other than the current leaks. And so, but he was trying to press them on, because he was like, you know what I know, you guys have what I have, kind of situation. And so that's what Tommy C was saying, is like Chud tried to pressure Nick and Turkey Tom to come out about what they knew behind the scenes ahead of Pixie coming out. And Pixie didn't come out for whatever, like for the longest time, because at the time she was trying to deal with it behind the scenes with Destiny, and she didn't want people to know, like, even though people were speculating, she was still denying it. And so like there was like, people can sit there and be like, yeah, no, that's definitely Pixie. But if she's not admitting that it's her, and unless you go and look at the video, you have to either assume Kiwi Farms is telling the truth or Pixie, but there's no actual fact unless you've gone and seen the video. And even in that video, it's like, I've seen photos of the video, so I haven't watched the whole thing. So maybe her face is like more in there, but she's bending down, and really there's a lot in it. Yeah.
I had the idea that her face was more in there, and that people were already drawing the conclusion that it was Pixie.
No, people were, but the majority of like the people that would be listened to more kind of situation, because like the people that were drawing the confusion, like that were saying, yes, this is Pixie on Twitter, was Sick Unchanged. And Sick is the one that everyone thinks is crazy. He's the one that made the Lav Loon video and then took down the video. Like he didn't have a lot of credibility. So basically people that didn't have a lot of credibility were saying, yes, this is Pixie. But people that did have a lot of credibility weren't saying shit about it. So like Turkey Tom and Nick and them, who knew that it was Pixie, had proof that it was Pixie, but were keeping it hidden. And to them, it was, well, we're keeping it hidden because Pixie hasn't come out yet. And to Chud Logic, it was like, no, you guys are keeping it hidden because you guys are afraid of DGG coming after you. You're afraid of Destiny's audience. And Chud made that the point that, oh, you guys are just hiding this information that you know to be true because you're afraid of Destiny. You should, and he did allude on that stream that they knew something that he knew behind the scenes, like they had the same information.
So Chud, as like a few days ago, and I think this is where Tommy is like misunderstanding him, or Tommy is just like putting the tinfoil hat on, is Chud the other day was saying that he saw Turkey Tom distance himself from Destiny, and he was saying the things that he was publicly saying on stream. He saw the Tom go over the leaks on stream, not the Pixie leaks, but the whatever leaks
He was going
happened.
over
The DMs. Yeah, the
Well,
DMs
what
that
DMs was he going over?
I think it was the DMs that were that Destiny had with the leaker specifically, or that Rose person. The Rose person.
Okay.
I think it was that, and Chud says that he had a hunch to press Tom on the New Year's Eve stream, and then that's where Chud admits he pressed Tom, and then Tommy is just misunderstanding him and being like, so he admits it. And it's just like, Tommy, you're taking this to left field. This is factually, Turkey Tom was already distancing himself already and was already publicly saying things. And you're kind of making it sound like Chud is being a snake by pressing Tom in the first place. Where Tom is like, how many subs does Tom have? Like what?
Across all his channels? I don't know. But his Tom
he's a big boy.
Yeah.
Tom can be pressed on a stream. Like, Tommy, I don't think you need to be a daddy figure and defend Tom or Nick like they're your little boys. They're all grown adults. I think they can be pressed. So
yeah, but I mean, and that's like, so that's another thing that Tommy had an issue with, because now granted, Chud does do this. He'll bring some, like with the Tectone thing. That's the most recent, when Tectone called into Chud, right?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Tectone came in and he was going to have a nice, calm, civil, adult conversation about whatever Chud had an issue with. But Chud wanted Tectone to come on and have an argument and create content. So Chud was trying to create the content, and Tectone was just not having it. He was like, nah, you want to talk to me, we're going to talk, but I'm not going to sit there and try to get baited by you. Because Chud was trying to bait an entertaining conversation, which Chud has done before. A lot of times he's like, even between when two other people are calling in and he's like the moderator, he'd be like, all right, come on, this is boring, blah, 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 blah. And he would be like, what do you guys think? What do you think about him doing this? Like say it, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So Chud has like with the Tectone thing, after Tectone got off the phone, Chud was like, oh, Tectone, he like rolled over and showed his belly, like as if Tectone pussied out of an argument. But the thing is, no, Tectone just wasn't going to give you that kind of content. He wasn't that amped up about what everybody was saying. Like, he probably is hurt that people are bringing up, saying that his dad's a rapist, when really what his dad did was he inappropriately touched the women. Like there was no like legal rape going on, so that's why they couldn't convince him with rape, but convict him. But so Chud does do that. He'll bring someone on. It's never really a civil conversation when it's on stream. And so Tommy also thinks that Chud purposely blindsided Tommy C by bringing Queeman on to get them into a screaming match, and didn't really tell Tom. But to Chud's credit, Chud said he's really angry with you, like he's really amped up about this. And Tommy C's like, oh, okay, like he was just like, okay, but Tommy C thinks he got blindsided too, so he thinks that proof that Chud blindsides people is, let me bring up this New Year's Eve stream where Chud tried to blindside Tom and Nick. But it's literally entertainment. And the biggest problem with Tommy C is he's got that loyalty thing, but can you really have the loyalty thing where it's like, if we're friends behind the scenes, you should deal with everything with me privately and only deal with things publicly when you absolutely need to when it comes to me, because we're friends. Kind of, he's got that kind of mindset, but you really can't have that kind of mindset online, especially in the case like Tommy C doesn't even do that like all the time. Like yes, Tommy C has more loyalty and stuff, but if someone like Tommy C and Tipster were cool, and I'm sure that Tommy C went out, like said a bunch of shit about Tipster publicly, you know, kind of thing. So I think really the thing that Tommy C is trying to do is be like, Nick, you're my friend, but I don't trust this Chud guy. And this Chud guy is friends with Queeman, who's even less trustworthy. So you should ditch them and distance yourself from them because you're my friend, not their friend, kind of thing. He wants Nick to be distanced. And Nick, it's rare that someone goes after Tommy and Nick doesn't help Tommy, and Nick hasn't helped Tommy at all in this situation. So Tommy's not used to having to fight off the wolves by himself.
Why do you think that? Why do you think Nick hasn't really stepped in?
I think because it's part of me thinks it has to do with Queeman. Like nobody wants to deal with Queeman. Like Queeman's kind of like Queeman is like Mr. Sen and Angry Slug put together kind of thing, where like Queeman's intelligent and he can point things out, but he's also like super, I don't know. Queeman's just bad faith. Like he's bad faith because he'll take things that people say and then insert his own assumption about what they meant. And then if the person says, yeah, no, that's not what I meant, he'd be like, no, obviously that's what you meant. It's objectively true that that's what you meant. And it's like he turns his assumptions into fact. It's hard to argue. No one should argue with somebody that's not going to approach it with a clear mindset of actually having a conversation. And Queeman doesn't approach anything with, okay, well, if you say that, that's not what you meant. All right, that's fine. Let's move on. There is no that's fine. Let's move on. It's no, I've made this point and I'm going to drill you on this point and I'm going to harp you on this point. And then afterwards, my audience is going to shit on you. And then you're going to freak out you're going to say shit about it. And then I'm going to keep on pressing it. And I'm going to keep on pressing it. And like, even he's doing it he's got, Queeman's got his eyes on Papa Gut too. And it's weird. Like I had a back and forth with Queeman on Twitter because someone had posted that Tommy C admits to covering for child groomers. And I'm like, whether or not this is a joke, this is the bad faith that everyone's talking about, because nobody actually believes that Tommy C covers for child groomers because he said that he looked the other way when it came to Chud getting catfished by the trans person.
You want to know? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, you want to know how? Oh, go
ahead.
I love you. I love you.
Good.
Dude, we used to fight. Like, where is the blood?
Right?
Fucking, you stupid bitch. Dude, you're on Tommy C's side. I hate you.
No, right? No, I told somebody, because we talked about it on cam, and I was like, look, I don't like anybody involved. I don't like Tommy C. I think Tommy C is just as bad faith as Queeman. But the thing that is happening is Tommy C's not used to getting that bad faith interpretations churned around on him without the defense of the commentary community. I think that Nick isn't stepping into it because he doesn't want to deal with Queeman. I think like he's like, nope, I'm not stepping into it. Because there are things that I think you are wrong on. And even the things that I think that you're right on, I'm not stepping into it because I don't want to deal with that community.
So like I think Nick doesn't want to step in. First off, I don't hate you and I don't think you're a stupid bitch.
I know. I love you.
I think Nick doesn't want to step in because one, he has bigger fish to fry. He has like other things to do. And two, maybe he wipes his hands of Tommy and he's just like, Tommy can take care of himself. Tommy is a big guy. He can handle himself.
I don't ever seem like really wiping his of Tommy C because he credits Tommy C with where he's at today, like starting his career. But yeah, no, there's times it's clear that Tommy C and Nick disagree on a lot. Like, of course, we got to talk about the green M&M thing. And like what Nick said, now Tommy didn't show the DMs, but he read them. And what Nick said in those DMs that Tommy C considered a threat was basically, if you don't stop engaging with me like I'm a fucking stupid ass child, there's going to be problems. And Tommy C took that as, oh, Nick's gonna make a video on me, which makes zero sense. And
Yeah, it doesn't. It literally
it
doesn't.
0 sense. But yeah, so it's clear that Tommy C kind of sees things that nobody else sees. And he likes to pretend like he's always right, but he's not always right. And
No.
you can't, the people that always say that kind of stuff, like, I was right. You guys should have believed me. I was right all along. The people that say that, I'm like, no, you weren't right. You just made a vague prediction. And then this random thing that happened 6 months later, you're going to tie that into your vague prediction because you made it vague on purpose. Like, oh, Chud's going to snake Nick. That's a vague prediction. And so if Chud makes a video on Nick saying, oh, this take about Nick is so shit and Nick's wrong about this, then Tommy C's going to be like, see, I told you all along that Chud was going to snake Nick. No, that's not. No, that's just a vague statement. You're not right about it. And especially when I know that 9 times out of 10, Nick's not going to really care too much about people saying stupid shit about him. Like, unless it's like serious, like accusation kind of shit. That I think that's the only time that Nick's
false accuser. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only time that Nick's like, all right, I got to defend myself. But other than that, yeah.
So Queeman was starting to criticize Nick, and Nick's response was, "Yeah, go for it. Like I don't care."
Yeah.
And Queeman and Nick have a dialogue, and I will say, like, as a person that has been covered by Queeman, I've been like ridiculed. Best way to get Queeman off you is to ignore you or to ignore him. Just ignore Queeman, and he eventually goes away.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, if
Tommy,
you don't beat it.
What?
If you don't take the bait, then
Yeah.
Queen was like, all right, whatever.
Don't take the bait. And Tommy takes the bait every single time. Every time. Like, nobody is there to tard wrangle him. We need Matt Pitt back to tard wrangle Tommy C.
Matt Pitt's been busy on other projects. But yeah, no, but I don't think at this point anybody could wrangle Tommy C. And because that's the thing, like, I really just think the thing that's causing this to be bigger than it actually has to be is the fact that Tommy is reacting to it in such a way that it's like, it's Queeman. Like, why are you giving this guy air if you don't care about what he thinks? And then why are you churning on Chud because of a single video that wasn't even that totally bad? And yes, I do think that Tommy's right when Chud's like, oh, I'm just, it's just a little bit of banter, but it's like, or joking. Like, I do agree that a lot of times there's truth in what Chud's saying about how he feels about someone, but he's going to say it's banter or it's joking because he doesn't want to. I think the reason why he does that in most cases is because he's like, it is something that I think is bad, but it's not that bad that I want to cause an issue with it. So I'm going to call it banter or just joking. So, and I don't think Tommy C, because Tommy C thought Nick was threatening him with a video over Nick saying, if you don't stop treating me like a child, we're going to have problems. Tommy C thinks it's not banter. You actually hate Nick. You actually hate Nick. And you're just waiting for Nick to say something stupid to you in private because you're going to leak it and you're going to take him down. And because Tommy's conspiracy. All this.
Yeah.
And it's fine to be conspiracy brained. Just keep your conspiracy private.
Yes. Yes. He treats this as if it's like the mafia. And it's like, Tommy, this isn't the mafia. You're not the Don. Nick is not the mafia Don. I get that that's Nick's little character. But nobody is connected. Stop treating this like the mafia, okay?
Yeah.
Just because somebody does something on a live stream and you see it as snake behavior does not mean that they're trying to get you, okay? You are in Germany. Chud is in the UK. What the frick is he going to actually physically do to you? Nothing. Okay, so then you don't have anything to worry about. Nothing. He has no merit on your personal life, so you shouldn't really care what he does on the internet. And I get it where you see Tommy maybe is trying to protect Nick from getting screwed over, but again, Nick is a grown adult. What?
Yeah.
How old is Nick? Like 25, 28?
27, I think.
27?
Yeah.
They're all Nick, Augie, and Tom are all in their 20s. They have to learn these lessons. And Tommy's sitting here trying to fucking baby these little boys. And it's like, stop fucking babying these commentary guys as if they're little children. They're your kids. They're not your kids.
Yeah.
They're not your kids.
And
this isn't the mafia.
Yeah. Well, so this might be a little conspiracy brain on my end, but what I think is the reason why I think that Nick might have bitched to Tommy about some stuff that Chud has done. Like been like this, this was kind of shitty of Chud to do. But Nick wanted to keep it private, but Tommy's like wants it to be public, that Nick feels like that how Nick really felt about Chud doing whatever, the video or something. Because Tommy kind of alluded to that video a lot and how like it obviously bugged Nick. And it's like, I think that Nick was bugged about it and vented to Tommy about it. And then Tommy's like, well, then fuck Chud, get rid of him. And Nick's like, well, no, it's not that big of a deal. And to Tommy, it is. It's like the biggest deal to talk shit, whether like in like friendly fire or not. I think Tommy thinks anytime you talk shit, it's because you don't like the person and behind the scenes. Like, Tommy just is conspiracy brain. So my conspiracy is that maybe Nick actually did complain to Tommy about the video, but Nick didn't think it was like bridge burning situation, and Tommy thinks it's a bridge burning situation, and Tommy wants it to be a bridge burning.
Yeah. I will say, Tommy doing this out of the blue, Tommy wouldn't get this confidence out of nowhere. There could have been at least one person talking to him behind the scenes that was egging him on. You think it's Nick. I think it's Willie Mack. I think Willie Mack was talking to him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Queen,
or maybe it could have been Nick and Willie Mack, possibly.
Yeah. I mean, they did. Yeah, it could have been. I mean, Willie Mack. But Willie Mack's been public about the fact that he thinks that Chud and Queeman are being stupid about his videos, because the reason that they got mad initially at Willie Mack was because when he made his video about like Destiny, that he didn't talk about all the people that were involved, but like there was valid reason why Willie's not going to go over anything that he shouldn't have to go through someone's Twitter to find out all the information. Like, he asked the person if they want to make a statement, say no, then fine, then I don't have to include your statement. And so like they all thought that Willie was sweeping, and they all Queeman and Chud thought that the reason why Willie and Nick and Turkey are being a little safe around initially around the Destiny thing, because they were worried about the Destiny crowd, and they did have some kind of tangential connection with Destiny, because Nick used to suck Destiny off all the time. Willie was cool with Destiny. Turkey Tom was really friendly with Destiny. Like, there was a connection. So like, if in one side, if they had just immediately gone hard on Destiny, they would have had to deal with Gigi, and it might have looked bad on them to be like just turning on Destiny right away, to be like, oh, well, you're a piece of shit, when not everything was out. And it might have been, I think the way that they did it, coming out hard when they did it after the President Sunday and Beckett videos, and after Pixie was like, all right, I have to come out now because of these videos, it was me, I'm seeking legal action kind of situation. Like, I think that them then was better because it didn't look like, oh, you were just waiting in the shadows to snake Destiny. And that's what Tommy C is saying that Chud is doing, waiting in the shadows to snake. And then the whole reason why your buddy Nick did not come out against Destiny right away was because it would look like optically that Nick was waiting in the shadows, just waiting to snake Destiny over, certain things that weren't confirmed all the way. It's
Yeah.
just it's such a mess, and it really just, I think it just comes down to Tommy C is old school, and he's not used to the way things are changing, because things have been changing in his community for a few years. They've just been slowly changing, and it's gotten to the point where Tommy doesn't like it anymore.
I mean, things are changing. Like, people are kind of growing a brain. You can't essentially get away with the old things that you used to get away with, where it's like, oh, I can say half the truth, or I can be factually somewhat correct and get away with it. No, you have to be entirely factually correct. You can't get away with stuff like that anymore. And everybody's off doing their own things. And regardless if everybody is off doing their own things, everyone talks shit about everyone. It's like, it's very childlike to sit there and say, "Oh, so and so talks shit about me," and that's just horrible and snake behavior. It's like, come on. Everyone talks shit about everyone. And, Tommy included. I guarantee you, Tommy talks shit about people that he doesn't want knowing, or he doesn't want people finding about their shit talk. It's like, dude, if you're gonna sit here and point the finger at Chud Logic, you have two pointing right back at you. The things that you were saying about Chud, you can easily apply to yourself.
Yeah.
Or attacking people's credibility. You have a commentary channel that attacks people's credibility. Everybody in commentary attacks people's credibility. I do it myself. I did it with Lio. Everyone does that, attacking the credibility thing. So, but
Oh man,
this was a good convo. I love this.
It was, and I hope, I think that for the people that are watching, shines light on what I think, because we're pretty right. I think we're pretty right. So
we for sure wanted to get like a conversation between me and you, because I knew that you and I were on polar ends, where you were a little bit more on Tommy's side, and I'm very pro Chud, very pro Chud. I'm biased. I'll admit that.
Yeah.
So it's good to get the Leigha Jesska combo.
Yes. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. We'll try to get another one in with Liana at another time. She couldn't join us today, but yeah. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.